Hey, I'm Dukes on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Yo, hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a donation deck list. This is Connor False's most recent take on 4-color Loam featuring blue instead of... Actually, I guess it's bug. Yeah, sorry, 3-color Loam. There we go. No red, no white. Apologies. Yeah, I should change the title, but I won't. I will live with that error. Here we have a bit of a pile, but a very cool pile to say nevertheless. This deck grinds either through a Saga plan. You also have Emry as part of that with Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas, a card I haven't seen for a little while in Legacy, but I definitely have some Tezzeret fans in my local community, which is very cool. You have the Reanimate package with Grief, along with Entomb for cards like, well, I guess, Troll Cycles, but for Cyberdrive Awakener, which is a flying 6-mana 4/4. Other artifact creatures you control have flying, and when it enters the battlefield, until end of turn, each non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness 4/4. So it's pretty much a Craterhoof Behemoth for artifacts, and can probably get your opponent out of nowhere. It's kind of cool because it goes wide, which I really like, and it's an ETB, so it's not like while it's in play. So if they remove it, your creatures, or your artifact creatures that you now have, won't become just artifacts anymore, which is pretty sweet. Then Atraxa as well. Atraxa is going to win many games by itself, and you actually have a pretty nice mix of lands, enchantments, artifacts, planeswalkers, I assume, card type, cool, sorceries, instants. So you have, yeah, a few different plans. You have sort of your artifact-based plan, you have your graveyard-based plan, and then just like a nice grind plan as well, with things like Grist and Uro, Leovold in the board. Yeah, really, really cool. Again, just like last week, there's a big need to focus on the mana base. Maybe a little bit less because it is only 3 colors instead of 4, but we still have an Ancient Tomb, 4 Wastelands, the Swamp and the Forest, so do have to make sure that we are fetching correctly and not putting ourselves in, yeah, spots where it can kind of blow up in our face if we don't have the right mana. So hopefully that goes well. A big shout out to Greg, my patron, who wanted to see this deck in action. I'm really looking forward to it. The sideboard is nice as well. You have some cool things for obviously Goblins, which is seeing a lot of play in the Hydroblasts and the Chill, alongside Dismember and Snuff Out. You just have Ley Lines for Graveyard, which is nice. Circle's Recall for any sort of shenanigans. You can target yourself if that comes up, which is kind of cool. We'll see if that does come up. But yeah, I'm pretty keen to explore this deck and see how it goes. Alright. Play points. Nice. Yeah, Connor's been obviously testing a fair amount recently, so I'm really keen to see how this deck performs because, yeah, it has a lot of access, and hopefully we can choose one and just go for it. So this currently has a Saga plan as well as an Entomb strategy. So if we draw into a Reanimate, it's online. Potentially if we want to go for Loam, we could also do that. We have some interaction in things like Otawara and Wasteland, which is cool. But it's a tough one because there's no like... There's no, say, like, currency converter or Mox Diamond start. Pretty, like, I feel like we could just see where this goes. Having the Entomb means there's a lot of things that we could unlock. That could be nice and strong. And honestly, if our opponent is going to shuffle here, then being able to just wasteland Underground Sea and kind of reset this game is pretty nice. Not too sure what our opponent will be on. Underground Sea Ponder to me always makes me think it's going to be a Doomsday deck, but it could be something like Grixis Delver. This doesn't really change my turn one, so I'm just going to go for Wasteland here and reset. Bowmaster, nice. This turn, so if I really wanted to, I could play the Saga here to try to get something like the Currency Converter online as soon as possible. But if I play the Urza Saga, I can't Witherbloom Command next turn, and I really want to get value out of the Saga, so I think here we're just going to play the Verdant and pass. If this is potentially a Delver deck, I don't want to get Wastelanded just yet, so I don't mind this. Entomb, a really cool card. I played around with it a lot in Highlander recently, in an Abzan Lands list. And being able to entomb something like Dark Blast against some of the smaller creature decks is pretty great. Also, being able to go for Sevine's Reclamation and get back a creature. Or if you have Cosmic Intervention, that's not it. Oh no. Cosmic Rebirth, and 4 mana open with Entomb, you can obviously go and get a 3 CMC spell or less at instant speed, which is pretty sweet. Cosmic Rebirth, really cool. I've seen it popping up in Legacy a little bit. With Anzi, I believe, he's been playing it in sort of his 4-color control decks. Okay. Nothing too crazy yet. Underground Sea, okay. Cabal Therapy, sure. I haven't really seen anything just yet, so we'll see what they name. Wasteland and Verdant. Bowmaster, okay. Nice, you got it. Pretty good name in the blind. I mean, you've seen Verdant and Wasteland. If you're scared of it, you can always go for it. Ooh, Atraxa. Sadly not a great card in hand, but to be fair, if we hit 2 more lands, we're kind of there. I think we are just getting the Saga online. Cabal's really interesting. Maybe this is Cephalid? Like an Esper Cephalid list? Oh, the Coliseum's quite nice if we could get that online. Potentially going for Entomb into Loam to then dredge ourselves to turn on the Cephalid, because that's a great way to beat any sort of Thassa's Oracle deck. Because in response to the trigger, they most likely have less than 2 cards, and so you can make them draw 3 in response. Bowmaster. Okay. Playing this at sorcery speed. Maybe they would just want to hit with the Cabal? I think in that case I'm happy to Entomb for Loam. Because getting that online would be quite nice, especially with the Saga already in play. So I think you would just go for Bayou. I mean, if it gets forced as well, don't really care. Yeah, that's fine. And there's the Oracle. Okay, so that gives that away, which is nice. So they named Witherbloom Command. Then we do have a Saga, which is quite nice. We can play the Cephalid next turn. I feel like it's a flavor win to beat Cephalid Breakfast with Cephalid Coliseum. It's kind of cool. Alright. Another Entomb. Interesting. We'll play the Coliseum. It does take a blue to activate, so potentially I should just play the Underground Sea. But life typically isn't too relevant in this sort of match. Strix, okay. There's a white. Don't know Entomb just yet. Ooh, there we go. Okay. That's super interesting. Does Currency Converter draw a card then discard a card? Okay, so we could discard Atraxa. But that does allow the Orcish Bowmaster to ping. I kind of just want to get the Soul Guide Lantern here. We're not making a dude because they have 2 cards left and I really want to get the Atraxa. So potentially we don't care about the Bowmaster pinging. I do like that Soul Guide allows us to have interaction against the combo. Might Currency Converter. I think it is just this. Take out their... I guess in case they run a Mystic Sanctuary, we can take away the force, but not too much of a concern. Honestly, I don't mind getting back Grist. That's kind of cool. Play this. We don't really need the one floating. This is fine. I mean, honestly, we could also just get back the Orcish Bowmaster, which isn't the worst. But is that cool? This is kind of cool, but Emry's kind of cool. Nah, let's just try to get back the Bowmaster. Okay. Ping theirs. 2, 4, 6. I'll play the Otawara. Actually, no, I've already played a land for turn. That's all good. I was going to say the Otawara allows us to hold up Entomb while also holding up Coliseum. Or at least Entomb and then activate Coliseum, which is cool. I'm going to play the Oracle. That's the second one as well. They've already exiled one. Put a card on top. I just double clicked. I apologize. I was gonna get Loam, but I don't mind getting Grist. It just turns on another Reanimate. Grieve. Okay. Cast this. Hey Rudder, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Another Oracle. Wow. Okay. No great attacks. So one in exile, one in play, and one in discard. Sorry, one in graveyard. This allows us to grow the Orc, which is nice. There should be. Yes. There you go. Emry's pretty sweet. We'll start with Emry. Reanimate, Troll, Bowmaster, Shadowspear. I could allow them to draw 3, take 3, but I don't think that's worth it at this stage. That's also a discard outlet for us, if we want to try to get another Reanimate in hand. Wow, okay. I think here, I'm probably just going to take out the Oracle. That's 2 in the graveyard, which we can exile instant speed, and then 1 in exile. So if they have one more, they have one more. But just like taking them off that ability to win through Oracle is pretty nice. I'm getting rid of it because potentially there's a line where they could bounce with Teferi and then the next turn replay it. Divining Witch. Okay. Interesting. That is just a 1/1. Which we could ping right now. They have 1 card left. If we allow them to draw 3, take 3, we hit the Witch, hit them for 2, and then this becomes an 8/8, we might as well try it. This does give them the opportunity to draw 3 cards and draw into removal, but... Alright. 1, 2, 3. Troll. It's pretty cool. Could get back Shadowspear if we really wanted to. I'm happy to attack first. There's a world where they have Bowmaster. Swords. Okay. They're down to 0 cards. Wow. I guess I can also... they have 0 cards actually, so let's sack this and draw a card. And then use Emry to get it back. That's pretty cool. Nice. Exile the Witch. Land, pass with Troll open. Deck's really cool. I'm sure there's a lot of different things or ways to go about this. Ooh, they have Thought Lash. Yes. But 0 cards in hand. Okay. Now that's pretty interesting. here, I'm pretty happy to cycle the troll. This is pretty much exile a card on top to prevent 1 damage. I might as well draw a card here. We want to try to find the Pithing Needle. Wasteland, okay. Loam. Actually, Loam's very good because it allows us to get back the Cephalid Coliseum. Hey Alex, welcome. Hope you're well. See what they exile, because if they hit the other they have 1 Oracle left. Okay. Did I just... Sorry. I've got to get used to actually clicking there. That's on me. But hopefully here, Cephalid is just enough. Strix. Okay. They drew a card, so it pings itself, which is really nice for us. Do I want a Loam? I guess because Needle's what I really want, and Loam gets me there a little bit quicker with Emry. We don't hit. That is fine. So let's get back Soul Guide. Did I just... Ah, that's why. Sorry, of course. For some reason I thought it puts it into play, but of course it allows you to cast it. That's where I was getting a little bit stuck. That's on me. Own Bowmaster. Okay. Waste Otawara. Yeah, that's actually a great play. I totally didn't even see that. But Waste Otawara, get it back with Loam, and then Otawara the Thought Lash. Really nice. That's a fantastic line. Really well, thank you, Alex. Okay. Okay. Do we want a Loam? Pretty much free. I could have also drawn a card with the Soul Guide with the Bowmaster still in play to kill their Bowmaster. Also, just small things. I didn't want to Loam last turn. I do want to get it back now. But I didn't want to Loam because it's 2 mana to Loam. Like, I Wasteland the Otawara, I then get it back, but then it costs, thankfully, 1 less because of Emry. But that's 2 mana, Wasteland myself, and then I have 1 2 mana, so I'm 1 mana short of that line. Hey KC, thank you very much for the sub. Hope you're doing well. This is your list. Tricky list, I will say, but pretty fun nevertheless. And I'm sure as we play it, it'll get a little bit better. Assemble the players. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I kind of like getting the converter back. Just gotta one more turn. Ah, no, I had it. I can float mana with the Otawara. So float a blue, wasteland it, 2 to Loam back, and then 1, 2, yeah. Damn, so close. Just little things like that of just picking up a new deck you have to really consider. So actually, I'm not going to do anything. Alright. So float a blue, wasteland it. Loam it back. Might as well play a land. 2, 3. Interesting. That actually works with Otawara. I didn't even think of that. Read the cards, read the cards. They can do this. I thought it was like prevent damage as it's being dealt, not prevent the next form of damage. Yeah. That's on me for sure. Oh, they hit another Oracle. That's the 4th Oracle. So I wonder if they have another way to win. Because currently in the graveyard, 1 Oracle, and then in exile, 2, 3, 4. So they must have Jace potentially? No point attacking. Damn. Yeah, it could potentially be too risky to bounce it there, for sure. Especially with... That's good, we get it back. Alright. We will Loam. I wonder what their play is. They did, I believe they fetched but didn't find a land. Can attack with both here. Go to 1. Too sure, like maybe a Jace is their win con. Sharp-eyed Rookie. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what card that is. Assume here we just bounce this. End step. Pretty cool. So you bounce that, but then you also get to currency converter it. Won't Loam. I guess we draw the Loam. That's kind of cool. Attack with both. This would be an interesting one to sideboard for. The Tear Under, I don't mind. Especially the exile effect of that. I guess Needle also in some ways. Leo seems pretty good. It's probably just these three. Don't really care about these. They're not playing red. This card's always an interesting one. It has a lot of text, which is typically good. It does return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, which is kind of cool. It also allows us to discard, which is nice, without drawing a card, which is pretty relevant. Haywire Mite's also quite strong. Maybe the line was also getting like a Haywire Mite through the saga to get rid of it. Cyberdrive's kind of cool. I think the Bauble could come out because they are a Bowmaster deck, which is a little bit awkward. Yeah, Wall, interesting card. Interesting card. Grief. I don't want to get rid of too much, like maybe just one Loam. They do have a fair few basics, so like the Wasteland strategy isn't that great. We're not playing any sort of like Caracas or Bajuka Bogs, and I need to think about that. Bring in these three. It could be the Uro. Like I'd rather have the Leovold than the Uro. Oh, turn 1 Reanimate on Grief. I really like that. Okay. I wonder what they name. Probably Orcish again. Yeah, okay. Well, at least they're not watching the stream. That's always nice. This does feel really nice, especially with them on 5 cards. One big thing here is playing the Swamp first, so that they can't daze the Grief if they're playing Daze. Alright. Grief, get rid of a Reanimate. And even if they counter it, we just have that ability, which is pretty sweet. I should also stack it differently so that if they do have something in hand to get rid of it, then that's obviously nice. I think here we just take the Force, and then next turn, could take the Sword. I kind of like taking the Force here, and then reanimating it, and probably just taking the Sword. Like, although they don't have a white source right now, we could get... Yeah, they could obviously find one pretty easily. Yeah, it's quite tricky because even if they have like straight graveyard hate, like Leyline of the Void, obviously pretty strong, but we still have Saga in this hand, which would do really well against a hand that's probably kept with Leyline there. A little bit awkward here, and it's just a very small thing, is that Leovold costs 3 pips, and Saga means it can't actually come down if Saga's in play first. Okay. Best draw is probably Bowmaster, as it just gives us one more thing to do. Pretty happy to try to get Leovold online ASAP. Probably just going to fetch for a tropical island, and then fetch for a Bayou. A lot of cantripping. They chose to not shuffle the last ponder. I don't want to draw one of the trops, so I'll just fetch one now. I guess it's the only trop, so makes a lot of sense. Ooh, Mox is kind of cool. Did we see Days last game? I'm trying to think. I don't believe we saw Days. So I don't think there's a reason to play out the Mox. Like, maybe I'll just keep the, like, both of these. That's a pretty huge win, because now the Leovold takes the ground, which was a big reason to attack there first before playing the Leo. Also going to watch the clock, of course. Oracle, okay. A little bit scary, not going to lie. Of course, I could have... Yes, that's actually a great line. This is actually quite nice as well. Yeah, I think last turn that's just the best line. Is play the Saga, play the Mox, pitch the Verdant, and then you still have the mana for Leovold, plus also play around Days as a just in case. Missing land drops here. Definitely taking the Thought Lash. Like, we could allow them to have it and then have the Boseiju up. They're also quite a way away from getting it online. I believe they have one more Thassa's Oracle in hand. Wasteland's pretty strong. Wasteland's really good here. We have Wasteland open here with 2 mana for Saga and then 1 mana for Boseiju, thanks to Leovold. I guess Dress Down deals with the Saga tokens, but happy to take them off white because another swords on a creature would be pretty brutal here. Holding up that Dress Down. Is there a way to stop the Dress Down? We have the Boseiju, get rid of it if we really want to. I'm trying to think of a way to keep the construct. Not really. They don't draw a card, thankfully, because of Leo. So I think we actually just... get Shadowspear and put it on the Leovold. That way if they want to block Bowmaster. Okay. Interesting that they're going for Bowmaster. I guess that gets rid of the construct. They're targeting that, so if we draw a card here, they can't kill the Grief, which is nice. So I will draw a card. Okay. And then I guess if they want to ping again, we draw another card potentially. I guess, yeah. That's actually quite interesting, Leovold with Bowmaster. Sharp-Eyed Rookie, 1 green creature, Human Detective 2/2, Vigilance. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's power, or its toughness is greater, put a possible counter on it and investigate. That's pretty cool. We will not draw here. Kind of like putting it on Grief and then just attacking with just the Grief. I don't want this to... yeah. I don't want the Leo getting traded with the... Pretty happy with this. Cast the Mox, get rid of the Verdant. Equip here. Okay. They don't draw off it, which is nice. And we do have the Boseiju on it. I will cycle. Get the Underground Sea. Kind of hope they only block with the Baleful Strix and then we can just Boseiju it. Soul Guide. Exile that. Definitely have to watch time here as well. Witherbloom command would be pretty sweet off the top. Obviously don't want to draw a card. Alright. Here we go. What's up, deck? Okay. A little lackluster. Guess we attack with... they're at 3. Draw a card now. Saga's pretty good. Right. Maybe a big part of it was coming, like, not getting that Saga down that turn earlier where we could have pitched the Mox Diamond, or pitched the Verdant Catacombs to the Mox. Like, one extra turn is pretty huge. It might have forced them to play Dress Down instead of the Orcish they drew. Don't play Teferi. Ooh, Null Rod's not too bad, actually. We have Needle next turn. On Thoughtlash. I guess they still have Dress Down, I believe. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I think in that case, we're at 29 life. We can still make a guy and then see what they do. Ooh, we also have Haywire Mite. I don't think that matters. We're gaming now. Oof. One card left. Dress Down? It is. Okay. Does it have lifelink? No. That'd be cool. Nice. Honestly, they're very rusty, and I think that really showed with some of our plays where we're making plays that probably weren't optimal, and also following it up with thoughts of like, hey, we actually could have done this, and then knowing that I could have done better. But really glad to slog out the first game, but also want to really improve Quick Smart on some of those thoughts without taking too much time thinking about them. But I think, yeah, this deck just has so many different ways to win. It's very hard for a deck to target it specifically. Like even Null Rod there. Really, really tough. A little bit tough to play on stream. Like obviously I want to interact as well and do some other things, but the challenge is there. And we haven't dropped a game yet, so... Yeah, gold fishing does well. I also really like kind of mapping the deck similar to this. So we got a deck tech, like kind of breaking it up. So we have like, obviously we have the Grief Reanimate package. We then have kind of the Entomb package which goes along with it for hopefully Atraxa, but then we have some other stuff, and then obviously the Loams. We have the Saga plan, which kind of builds towards Emry value as well, and then of course Tez, which we just saw. Very cool to see that. It's always good just to see the jewels as well, because for a second there I thought we had double drop, but we don't, and it's just good to understand which lands are left in the deck when you're fetching or wanting to fetch. Yeah, deck's sweet. I mean, if I can get Grist in play alongside Tez, I'll be happy. I'll be really happy. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, Momo. Pretty great hand. Yeah, happy to keep this. We do have turn 1. Reanimate on Grief, which is pretty cool. Oh, okay. That, seeing it's a Scalding Tarn, I kind of want to just go Bayou here first, and then Grief, pitch Grief, keeping the Bowmaster. So let's go Evoke on top. Yeah, so we want to keep it around before we see the hand. Alright, so they have a Daze, they have a Bolt. The Murktides are annoying. So we get to kind of play around the Daze for now. What if I took both Murktides? They then Bolt the Grief. Which isn't the worst, but I kind of want them... Yeah. Maybe... it's tough. So we have 1 mana to play with. So we want to take the Daze here if we are going to Reanimate. And then we take probably not the Bolt, because then when it comes into play, they're obviously going to Bolt it. So it could be 1 Murktide. And I think we allow them to have the Beans, but that's always tough as well. Maybe not. So it is discard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're pretty close to a Murktide if we kind of allow them to do stuff. We're definitely taking the Daze. That's an easy one. Please bolt it now. Oh, I could have taken a Murktide, and that's just a 3/3. Yeah, no. You have to think about Reanimate as well, like take their creature and then reanimate the better one. I think taking a Murktide here is pretty good, yeah. Just because the deck doesn't have too many ways to deal with things. We get a Volk. They Bolt. Grief takes a Murktide. We play a Bauble. This way we know all of their deck. DRC, okay. Murktide up, drop, up, Murktide. Okay, so they have those 3, and then they're drawing the Dragon Rage. Cool. Play the Beanstalk. Okay. These 2+1 card. Oof. I guess we play the Moxen. If we draw like a Loam off the top, it's pretty good. And now we just hold up the Bowmaster, try to get the DRC. If they drew a Daze, they drew a Daze. This also allows them to draw into Force to then pitch the Murktide, but I think we'd be pretty happy with that. Okay. Go to end step. They have the Force. Okay. Do they pitch the Murktide? That'd be interesting to know. Yes, definitely thinking about currency converter for sure. They pitch Brazen Burrower. Okay, so that forced blue card, and now they get to hold onto the Murktide as well. That's pretty rough. Okay. We'll play the Shadowspear. I will play Tomb. So we know about Murktide. So Murktide's coming down next turn. Yeah, maybe that's a spot where we just play the Bowmaster at sorcery speed and allow them to have the DRC, but say, hey, we're going to get this Bowmaster down most likely. Pretty much a 2-turn clock. Hey, thanks KC, all the best. Have a great day with the fam. Or at least getting them ready. Yeah, draw a card with the Beanstalk's very good. Like we could draw, yeah. Okay, I like the Snuff Out. I don't mind the Leo. The Blasts are definitely interesting. But it's mainly DRC, but potentially. Let's have a quick look at things we don't really need. We don't need the Haywire Mite. It does deal with like I think we can deal with beans with Witherbloom, which is kind of nice because Witherbloom can hopefully deal with a creature of theirs and also beans, and the beans are also drawn a card, so it's pretty much a 2-for-2 right there. Grist is good, Ura is good, like the Grief package is sweet. The Tomb works well with the Sagas, but can be a little bit dicey. I don't want to go down from 25 lands with Mox. Yeah, it's only 3 Mox though. Leylines. There is like a world we could go for Leylines to turn off the Murktides, but it's a little bit all in. If you don't have any opener, it's a little bit tough. If you have a currency converter, it's nice because then you can discard once you draw into, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Dismember's tricky. Like, sometimes Murktide's a 5/5. I like the mana. I like the Shadowspear. Spellbomb's cool. Whale is non-land permanent. I don't mind that because that also just keeps the Murktide off the field. Double Loam's nice. Emrys are cool. Could be the Cyber. Like if they saw the Mox Diamond, maybe they bring in something like Brotherhood's End. So Awakener might not be that great. It is a 4/4 flyer, but I think if I am trying to get Entomb online, I just want to go for Atraxa. Wow, we have the Grief again. It's kind of cool. We're going to keep this. Okay. So we'll cast Grief pitching at Reanimate. Okay. The Meltdown's quite nice to know about. They have both Unholy Heat and Bolt. I guess we get to take the Unholy Heat and then take the Bolt anyway, so that's kind of cool. Hey Jittery, very cool to see you last night. Always a pleasure. Bayou. Bayou. I think it's Could go for Underground Sea, a little bit risky. Underground Sea allows us to have Reanimate, but also have the blue for Spellbomb, but... Let's have a quick look. Like, I kind of like the thought of potentially getting Loam online, so having the Bayou's nice. Also... I think it's Bayou, but maybe that's just... I think that's okay. Take the bolt. Leave them with those 4. There's a world where we play the Spellbomb and they just melt down for 1. I assume they go Volk Delver here. Yep. Wasteland, interesting. I think for us, getting this Grief online is best, so I want to play the Wasteland, but just hold it up. Yeah, I think the mana for us is more important. Don't want to... I guess I could... Yeah, I think I should actually play the Spellbomb and just cycle it there. That was just me clicking through without really talking about it before we talked about it as a team, so... Yeah, I think Cycling Bomb is just definitely the best play there. I should have actually read the whole card. No flip, that's pretty huge. Yeah, it kind of time walks us. Guess we play this. We know about Meltdown. Draw a card now. Yeah. No flip. Yeah, no fetch and response, which is a little bit scary. Makes me think it's another threat. It could have been potentially a Beanstalk. That's probably something they would keep that isn't an instant or creature. I don't think they want like a Wasteland right now. Beanstalk makes sense. Places itself, sets them up. Oh, maybe it's Murktide. They have the mana for it. Yeah. I think it's Murktide, and Ninja's Murktide. So they have 2 cards left, and one is... Meltdown. I mean, we can't really not play into Days. Could play the Mox and then see if they want to daze it. I assume not, because they also have the Meltdown. Sadly, Grist here just ticks down with the Grief. Take out the Murktide, but then we just... Yeah, it's not a great spot. But it's really our only option here. Force is nice. Okay. I guess they do have the Force, but... Can see if the Grief lands. They might not have another blue card. Force Meltdown, one card. Take the Force. Now we just have to beat the insect. We have a lot of good draws. Witherbloom Command would be a... not the... I guess Witherbloom Command... Oh, does it allow us to discard? No, just the mill. Mill, go back a land. Whale. Interesting. Surgical. Okay. I guess that makes sense, knowing about the Grief. Shadowspear would be a pretty fine pickup. They do have the Meltdown, but it would buy us at least a turn. Yeah, I think you got to take the bad with the good. I could have had Grief and Reanimate in both openings, which is pretty great for a deck without cantrips. Put a Murktide in the bin. Okay. So thankfully it's just instant creature. Oh, is this a Murktide? Yes, it is. Nice. Oh, they're going to cast the Meltdown. Interesting, to try to get the DRC flying. Okay. Puts me to 2. Yeah. Entomb does nothing. Is there anything in the grave that actually does something? I don't believe so. Oh, Entomb. Ah, so cool. Yeah. Maybe like Entomb into... Sadly, we're a land off Entomb into Uro. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. Tough. Yeah, definitely missed. Cling would be pretty sweet. Cling to Dust. That's pretty cool tech. Sorry. That's yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, something like, maybe not Abrupt Decay, but like Assassin's Trophy potentially, probably in place of the Whale. Gives you some play against the creature stats. Do have ways to go over them. The Bowmasters would have been pretty key early on against the 1/1 creatures. That's always going to happen, Hades. It's always going to happen. It's kind of like the Dried Arbor phenomenon that happens when you have a Dried Arbor in your deck and Green Suns. Typically, you draw it with Green Suns in your opening hand, or you draw it the turn you want to go for it. That happens a lot, I know, with Hallowed Newton and the natural order target they want. They draw it the turn they want a natural order for it. But it's cool. It's cool. Shout out to Urza, doing well. Also, big shout out to Eternal Magic. I believe they're South American players, but they're back streaming. So if you want to check them out, definitely go check out Eternal Magic. I'll find what their Twitch is. There it is. Yeah, sadly, if you do kind of brew things up, Delver's definitely going to give you a really big test in like how well it performs in Legacy, because if you have a brew that doesn't do well against Delver, you're probably going to do pretty poorly at especially big tournaments where a lot of players just rock up with Delver. But there are things this deck can do. There's also a world where you, like with such low land, yeah, it's tough. I was going to say you could keep the second Reanimate in our opening hand and pitch the Grist, but I really like Grist. If it gets online, it's just so strong. Especially if you can trade an insect for a creature. But yeah, like you don't want to play Careful Study in this, but like some extra way. You do have 2 Entombs. You could go the full 4 Entombs, but then you're getting close to just being like, why aren't you just playing Reanimator? The Troll's nice because it gets C and Bayou as well. Alright, Emissary. We have Entomb Reanimate, we only have a Forest, so I don't think we're going to be keeping this. Like Soul Guide, redraw, no, but sadly, this would have been pretty sweet. Finally get the Atraxa into play, maybe. This was a fetch land, that'd be kind of cool. Double Reanimate. We have this Cyber. But it's just like Saga and Otawara. I think again it's a little bit too awkward. Like we're pitching a card, so it's probably a Reanimate. Yeah. Okay, I don't mind this. Keep bottom one. Then we have Currency Converter. Potentially works with Reanimate, which is nice, and then 3 lands to cast our spells. The Verdant probably finding Underground Sea. Speaking of, Thoughtseize. Okay. They probably take the Reanimate because I assume they're going to be a troll deck. And then we just want to wasteland them, I believe. Emry's interesting. Yeah, they went to 6 as well. There's a world where they kept a troll, but kept this to actually get the land. Pedal, okay. Brainstorm, wow. Underground Sea, Thoughtseize, Pedal, Brainstorm. Okay, most likely going to be Doomsday. Which changes things up a bit. Again, it's probably Cephalid that gets there over time. They don't find a land, so they're brainstorm locked. That's huge. And there's the Cephalid. Okay, now things are getting spicy. So let's go for Underground Sea, as we spoke about. That also gives us blue for both Emry and Cephalid and black mana. And then we'll play the currency converter this turn. Next turn we can play the Emry for 1. Okay. Cost 2 of course. Yeah. It's nice that Emry also turns on the Coliseum. Shadowspear. Mox Diamond. Okay. Wow. So that's actually quite interesting. If we... Yeah, we can... Emry, Mox Diamond, discard a land, and that triggers the converter. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Oh no. That's all good. That's all good. We're just going to get all colors online here. And... draw, discard. Okay. It's interesting. It is just going to be the Mox in here. It's next to useless. There is a world, however, where I should have kept a green open so I could cast the Boseiju if need be. Right. Saga. Very nice. Alright. I could start with a draw then discard. Yeah, we can do that as well. Get the Saga online. Draw, discard. I guess we might as well get the Shadowspear into play here. It's kind of the same as attacking, and then we can go like this. I guess we should have actually created a token, then put it onto that, but yeah, rookie station here. That Underground Sea Wasteland was very good. Yeah, they're just missing lands. Might as well make the converter now. They just got a Veil of Summer. Ooh, interesting. We're getting pretty close to just hardcasting that. Yeah. Wow. Oh, we can also discard it to currency convert it and then get it back with the Emry, right? Wow. Let's just do that. Yes, but we want to hold up this mana for Saga and also Coliseum. That's kind of cool. No. Could play this. Is that worth it? Probably is if we're going to go for Cyberdrive next turn. But, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. They're also most likely on a hand with Force of Will, so potentially it's not worth casting. Yeah. We can make the construct this turn. Yeah, I think we actually go from probably Mox Opal potentially. So I guess here we actually just float mana. Mox Opal. Land for turn. Cyber. Oh, wow, it happened. Yeah, that's all good. Nice. One short of lethal, I think. 4, 8, 10. Oh no, 1 over. Nice. They actually also showed us what they're on, which is really interesting because they did discard the Galvanic Relay, but I thought that they were on Doomsday. So now we actually know what they're on as well. Okay. Okay, combo. Knowing the Boseiju, I don't mind the ley lines, just because of Gaia's Will. Also Cabal Therapy to some extent. Recall I like. These are pretty good. At least the blasts are decent for the wishes. Agents, solid. They don't really draw cards other than cantrips. Loams are a little bit too slow. I could see Bauble coming out. It's kind of just an unknown card where I'd rather keep a hand with knowing what it actually is. Spellbomb. Shadowspear is not the worst. Currency Converter's cool. Grist, Uro. Discard is good. Witherbloom can hit artifacts, which is nice. Tyranitar does exile, but I think it's just the troll. Getting Cyberdrive down, that was very cool. Okay. Nothing that like blows my mind. We have a turn 1 Emry. But we don't have a turn 1 Emry that holds up Boseiju. We can get back an artifact or enchantment, but there's not one that really blows my mind here. Like, I think I really want something like Leyline or a blast effect potentially. Here the mana is obviously the reason that we can't really keep this. Oh, okay, well, we have a plan somewhat in Hercules. We have a win condition in Saga, so potentially we keep this and bottom a Bayou and Trop, and if we get underground sea, that we just have colors for everything. I wonder if they go for swamp. No. Okay. Songs, cool. One card left. I assume it's Boseiju. Burning Wish for Boseiju. Damn, turn one. I think we just run this back. I don't think there's anything to change. Okay. And we have turn one opposition agent. That's pretty sweet. Can we keep the saga as well? No. But that's okay, right? Hopefully. Saga pitch. Yeah. Come on, fetch land. You know you want to. I could also, like, not allow him to fetch. I think that's probably correct. Like, just do it. Because allowing him to go, like, fetch pass if they didn't have a turn one play, then they get a land. So I think that's, like, a little bit caught out there for me just wanting to be, like, literally flashy. So actually, I'm just going to cast this in response. Maybe not. Maybe there I should have held it because now they've played a land that isn't a fetch land to make them like go all in on something like a Boseiju. Now they know about it. Yeah, I think that's actually just incorrect. Because anything that they want to search with is sorcery speed, so I should have just allowed that. That's pretty lame. They get rid of the tendrils. Relay. Alright. Ooh, Grieve. Doesn't do a whole lot here. Probably happy to try to draw into the land or the black card to Grief and then Reanimate, or just cast it. I mean, they also just have Burning Wish into probably Grape Shot to get rid of the opposition agent here. Yeah, I think my timing could have been a lot better with the agent. But to be fair, I think if I was going to critique that, it would be cast straight away. Don't allow them to play a fetch and pass, and therefore would be in the same position where they just know about it from the get-go. Oh, Thoughtseize. Well, that's actually quite good for us. Because they get rid of the Grief, most likely. Or they get rid of the Reanimate. Oof. Yikes. Echoing Truth is really good. Right, so we definitely attack. And then we Grief pitching Atraxa, and then hold up. We'll try to get Reanimate back online as soon as possible. Ponder, Burning Wish, Thoughtseize. I think it's the Burning Wish here that I really care about, just because of Burning Wish into Grape Shot is really tough. Or Burning Wish into removal. Sadly, I can't play these and like float the mana. Start with the Ponder. There's a lot of search abilities, so hopefully it's a shuffle. Chose to not shuffle. Okay. They find a fetch, they play the fetch. Another Echoing Truth. Thoughtseize. Probably take the Reanimate, because it's much easier to cast off the top than it is Opposition Agent. Okay. I have one card that they know about from the Ponder. So hopefully it's not just Beseech. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. We have to cast this to turn on the Mox. They go to 8. A land. Okay. Orcish Bowmasters would be pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet top deck as well. Comes down to that. Okay. Hey Pigeon, thank you very much. They chose to not shuffle, which is kind of scary. It's a lot of free spells and land. At least, like, Agent turns off a lot of the search ability to find stuff, but Song just finds it, which is really tough. Like, they've drawn 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cards already. To be fair, Tendrils is under here, so they have to find... I guess another Burning Wish does it. Cool games. Alright. Let's try to finish this. It would be cool to obviously win the next 2 and finish 3-2. Because the deck has a bunch of power to it. But yeah, maybe because like we don't have too much against combo other than Reef interaction. Another land would have been cool, so we could loam back the land we get. I think because of that, we just can't keep this. Okay, we have Verdant. Yeah, another one-lander that I'm not too happy with. Okay, we have Grief, which is cool. Mox if we need it. Mox also turns on Currency Converter, which is cool. But I don't think we can go with the discard. Got a fan, which is nice. Always cool to see these little messages. If you ever play against me, definitely say hey. Okay, putting 2 cards back. I feel like it's the Emry and we just try to go for a currency converter line. Lair. Okay, probably Elves. Okay. Black card that isn't Orcish Bowmasters, please. Okay. Interesting. I guess if we fetch for Underground Sea here, we have all colors. Cradle. No. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. We don't have double black, unfortunately. So we can't Entomb Reanimate, but we do have Grief, pitch Entomb, and then just Reanimate it, which I do like here. And we want to obviously get it right, so play around Endurance. So cast by exiling the Entomb. And we want to look before we evoke. Double Natural Order. Okay, well thankfully, we have the Reanimate to come back and get it. Nice. They do still have a lot of live draws, however. Okay. Fiend Sweet. Nether Winds up left. They can attack with the Shepherd here, but they don't. That's fair. Otawara. Definitely attacking. One, two, three, 7 mana. 8 mana. They're so close to being able to getting Atraxa. Because Atraxa is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they do just have it. 4 mana. I guess that's free because of the cradle. 1, 2, 5, 7. Yeah. You get to see a bit more of their deck. A lot of lands. They're playing Wasteland. Interesting. Agent, Engineer, Dismember, Snuff Out. Yes. That's probably it. The Cyberdrive, like the Haywire Mite, the Soul Guide. I do want to keep the Tez. Needle's interesting. Like, there are a few things to name, like Reclaimer, which is like turning off a Reclaimer is pretty huge, or even a Fiend Artisan. That I probably like it as a target. It's probably the Bauble again. And probably an Emry. Uro is probably like by growing. Yeah, it's not the worst, but I could see where Uro just isn't really like, it's kind of like a Tamagoi from this matchup. It doesn't really do a whole lot other than just sometimes being able to attack. But we'll see how that goes. They are also typically a 4 endurance deck, so potentially a grief line isn't the greatest. I'll keep this. Pretty much off the Bowmasters. So really want to see a Ignoble start or Noble Hierarch start, not a Elvish Reclaimer start. Okay. It's good for us. I do want to fetch a black source as well, not just for Bowmaster, but also for Snuff Out. Alright. Let's go for Underground Sea here. And then I think we're actually playing the Saga. If I play the Saga this turn, I'm probably not Wastelanding next turn, which is pretty huge. But I kind of like getting the Saga online. Maybe not. Maybe just it's a little bit too early on. They could also be playing Invigorate, which I've seen a few Elves decks pop up with, but they don't have it here. We also have the option of potentially getting the Ignoble Hierarch on our side, which is kind of cool with the Reanimate. Bayou. Okay, that's a wasteland target. Mox is kind of cool. So I have some options. I'm nowhere near Cephalid, so I think we'll get rid of the Cephalid. But then I don't need a Mox this turn, because if I'm definitely wastelanding this turn. I believe. Next turn I can play the Saga and the Mox. Okay, no Cradle, but next turn most likely Cradle. Fiend, okay. Fiend's just a 1/1, which is nice. And they're also not holding up mana for Reclaimer, which is interesting. This makes me think they don't have Cradle. Well, they have a Cradle in hand. I want to deploy it next turn. Ooh, Bowmaster on the Fiend here is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana pretty much. So now we're going to deploy the Saga. I could Bowmaster the Noble, but I think hitting the Fiend here is just too good. A little bit unfortunate that both Dismember and Snuff Out from the board don't hit Atraxa. Or at least don't kill Atraxa. Okay, that's fine. Whale, okay, that's pretty cool. The cool thing about that I could look at the top 3, or I could try to return the Reclaimer here. I don't think we're anywhere near the Cephalid. And I think the Mox here is better than the land drop. Could also keep the Whale for Atraxa. We do want to attack this turn, so... It would have been cool to like have Wasteland as well. like return this, they get Cradle, and we Wasteland them. Ooh, what we do have is attack, and then off the Saga, get Aether Spellbomb to return. So that's cool. Yeah, Cephaliding them with Bowmaster out is pretty sweet, especially 2. Alright, so they get the Cradle. We attack with the Orc for 3. I guess we can attack for 4. Yeah. Hey, hi Star, welcome. You're doing well. We're attacking for 2. Honestly, here, I don't mind trading, getting rid of this, because it's pretty much getting rid of 2 mana. I think that's worth it. Wasteland's huge. Wasteland is very good here. 9. Tez wants to battle. I don't think just yet. Let's just have a good think. I feel like it's Spellbomb potentially, and then attack. Yeah, and then Wasteland the Cradle. I think that's the play. So I think we are going to make a token here, and then next turn play Tess. Make the Mox Diamond a token, and then swing in with everything. So you get the value. Could also name Needle, but I think the Spellbomb's better. Because we just get to go... Turn this. Play Wasteland. Wasteland Cradle. And then I'm happy to attack with all here. Try to get into a spot where a land off the top. I guess the construct is becoming a 5/5 with Tess is pretty cool. You get Dried Arbor. Okay. Ooh, Loam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's pretty cool. We get to go Loam back just Cephalid. That's pretty cool. That is very cool. Nice. I don't think we changed anything. I think we're happy just running this back. There are some considerations for, like, I don't mind Loam. Like 2 Loam, I feel like 1 Loam is good, but 2 Loams is nice to see when we have the Mox Diamond openings. That's always tough. Maybe this is good enough. From a graveyard onto the battlefield. Take the initiative. The issue with the initiative is that we don't have great ways to control it. I think I'm happy just running this back. Ooh. Alright, chat, what do you think? No black mana, but some pretty sweet black cards. I'm actually going to the bathroom. Let me know in the comments and I'll come back to my decision. Please say Mull. Yeah, I think Mull as well. I think here we just get taught, we get caught out by not drawing into a black source literally off the top. So there's a lot of good other hands as well. Potentially this. We could turn 1 Whale just to buy some time. Turn 1 Saga with Moxen's kind of cool. It might be keep and bottom the Otawara. Unless we keep the Otawara, drop a fetch land, and then if we draw into lands we can just hold the Otawara. Yeah, I think it might be a fetch. Okay. Is this return non-land? Okay, so we can't actually interact with Dried Arbor here, but that's fine. Orcish. Oh, okay, now we can. Like, is it too greedy here to go Mox, pitch? I guess we go Mox. Yeah. I was thinking that potentially we can keep the Otawara and bottom the Misty to the Mox, but I think we want to go Mox, pitch Otawara, Misty fetch. We have 2 lands in the bin, which is great for a few things. And then we have Bowmaster, but we can also play Saga. I like the thought of Loam off the top. So I am going to pitch this. I'm not too sure if they would have brought in Force of Vigor, just because it only hits so much of the deck. Like I could see Collect Oof potentially, but there are certainly lines we have where playing out our game isn't through artifacts and enchantments. I can see them kind of being, let's just keep the main deck pretty straightforward, but change one or two things. This is Green Suns for a Claimer. We can just whale it. Oh, okay. Well, we can whale this as well. I guess we want to actually get some value. Snuff out. Dismember. That's pretty sweet. But I think we really... Not just. I think we just want to... Could also whale it and then hold up Dismember instead of making a creature. I do like the thought of making a creature though. We're definitely fetching an Underground Sea. They don't currently have a creature to sack. I don't mind the attack. Yeah, I think the attack's pretty free. I am going to take a little bit of risk and just make a token. I'm not going to get rid of the Fiend here. I do want to get, like, being on a mulligan as well, I do want to get full value of the Saga. Alright, this worked out really well. Because now we also get to get Mox Opal, potentially, and have Mox Opal online. See if we draw a land. Reanimate. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Okay. Wow. I guess I think what we do is float one for Dismember on the Fiend, grief them, and then reanimate, but then also have up mana for Spellbomb. I could also go for Pithing Needle on the Windswept Heath, which takes them off Dried Arbor. That's pretty interesting. That allows us to hold the Dismember potentially. Oh, sorry, yeah. We do get 2 cards from the Grief. I think I actually do Needle. Turns off, like, if there's a world where they have double endurance, they can't hardcast 1 endurance. I don't mind this line. Windswept Heath. Dismember this. I guess there's a world where they have Invigorate. They don't, thankfully. Cast Grief, pitching this. We want to have a look at the hand first. Double Endurance. They do have double Endurance. Ah, we did it. We literally did it by naming with Windswept Heath. Now they have to pitch if they want to cast the other Endurance. That's crazy. That's insane. I guess we just take the natural order here in case. And now if they want to get rid of it, they have to pitch double endurance. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. They couldn't hardcast because we preemptively named Windswept Heath with the Pithy Needle. Small wins add up. Rackus. We don't care about that, which is nice. Snuff out. Brilliant. That's fine. See what we draw into. Grist. It's pretty cool. They have one turn. Actually, if we draw a land off the top, they can't even have one blocker because we can get rid of the Orc army. Bog, that's fine. Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool to get there. Keep the dream alive of a 3-2, which is always nice. Alright. One more. Really cool to see Connor put this together. I did have my thoughts about like this not being just like another Atraxa, but I really like how it kind of like gives the deck a weird Crater Hoof vibe for all of these artifacts, which is pretty funny. I can't think of anything more tilting than like just seeing your opponent have a bunch of like baubles and Mox Diamonds and other things that aren't really online. Ah, not Negator. I thought that was Tom for a second. We'll keep this. I'm gonna bauble my opponent first. See what they're on. Is it a namesake card? It is Ponder. Okay. Let's go for Mox. Pitch Wasteland. Play Bayou. Pass. I could also just Bowmaster right now. Yeah, I actually like Bowmastering just now. It just plays around days really well. Like, there is the world where they go like turn on Delver or turn on DRC, but I think just getting this online and being able to Entomb for Loam. Thoughtseize. Okay. my opponent, when they see Entomb, Wasteland, Cyber Travel. That's pretty funny. That is actually really funny. That's too good. We don't want a 6 here either because we do want to cycle the Troll. Most likely for an Underground Sea. Grief's cool. Quality's main deck makes me think they aren't like a Fatal Push or Bolt or Unholy Heat deck, which is pretty good for us. Okay, well, I thought I was correct. I was not. Okay. Loam would be so sweet right now. Chose to not shuffle. That's pretty cool. Wow, force pitching Brainstorm. That's pretty huge. That's really interesting because the Grief would have only taken one of those cards, most likely Brainstorm, seeing how powerful it is. Cephalid also a live draw with like Orcish off the top, which is really cool. Okay. Molten Collapse. Oh, Reanimate? Oh my gosh. I think here... I think going for Bowmasters best, because it pings the Narset down to 2, grows the Orc to 2. Yeah. This is negate at 87, unfortunately. But I love your thinking. I guess I could have also Cephalid myself. No, I couldn't because of the Narset. Interesting to see Narset. Makes me think they're like a more grindy deck, potentially playing Days Undoing, but I would assume not, just because Bowmaster is kind of everywhere in the format and also has... Oh, 2 damage. We can grow this if we Cephalid them. They draw 3, take 3. And then grow. I actually really liked. They could find a Bolt or Fatal Push, but still. Take 3. Is it worth it? Probably not. Worth it? Look. This isn't a trophy league, so let's just, yeah. They draw 3 cards, then discard 3 cards. Discard the Cyber. And then all of these are just save target. This also grows, which is really nice. Potentially a game-winning play, but you never know. The Bloodstained. Like, I could see them drawing it like Fatal Push, potentially. Wow, no, okay. Well, there we go. Nice. Nice. We did see Kozilek's Return. We did also see Molten Collapse, so I do like the blasts. I don't mind the Leo in this matchup. I'm going to assume that on something pretty artifact heavy, so I think like the Currency Converter, the Haywire Mite, potentially the Spellbomb is just a little bit too lackluster. Agent is annoying for them, but nothing spectacular. Witherbloom does get rid of like Bowmaster, but that's kind of it. I don't mind this. See more of the deck, and then maybe make it a consideration for game 3 if there is a game 3. I just want to have 3 lands, 4 spells. No. Double Reanimate, but we have the Grief. Okay. I think we just bottom the Otawara here. Potentially keep the Soul Guard as a redraw. Ooh, Loam's pretty cool. Cast Grief, pitching, Reanimate. They were pretty aggressive last time on this. Okay. What do I actually care about? I don't care about the Strix. I don't really care about the Ponder. Like they've got removal. They've got shield. I think I take the Soaring and the Sheoldred's Edict here. Soaring is just a little bit tough to deal with. Let's get a Underground Sea. Take the Edict. Pass. Interesting, they played the Delta, which we didn't know about. Oh no, they had that in play, of course. There we go. Ooh, going for basics. Should I be scared of that? Probably not. I think I'm happy just to Loam here. Off a Bayou. So we know about Badlands. They chose to shuffle pretty quickly as well. Underground Sea. They clinked it up flat in the line. That's fine. We've kind of got the value off it anyway. I guess I should attack first in case they have Fatal Push. Get the 3 damage in. Wasteland them. Play the Soul Guide. Probably just get rid of the Cling. And then I might just keep it around for now. I guess. Am I scared of Murktide? A little bit. But it would only be a... it would be a 5/5. Yeah, I think just... probably now is the safe bet. Hey, Punishing Waterfalls, very cool to see you. Hope you're well. Hope the family is well. Yeah, let's just do this. Didn't need to float a mana, but that's fine. I think we're pretty happy here. Okay. Grief's done its job. We can now draw into something like Leo and cast it. Grist is pretty good. Might as well fetch up that Trop. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but I call this the mid-game. Oh, there goes Leo. Sad. Grist seems really strong in this matchup, but they could have a Molten Collapse, which does deal with Grist very nicely. Double blue. Interesting, they fetched up double blue. I like how we're on 11 each and we both have 1/1s in play. Okay, that's a fantastic draw. Why the double blue though? That scares me a little bit. Like literal counter spell? Maybe they're just getting rid of some. Maybe just getting rid of yeah, probably just getting playing around Wasteland potentially. Nice. Ooh, that's cool. But do we care about it? Make them discard a card. I could choose 3 modes. That's really interesting. Maybe I want to wait. No, I just want to use my mana effectively. So let's... They discard. We look at the top 3. Ooh. Probably... It could be the Emry because it plays around Sudden Edict again. But it's also quite costly. I think it might just be Loam. Especially if we get Saga. This also plays around discard to some extent, which is nice. The one thing that I really like about this card as well is that it says, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. So at no point does your opponent know that this is a Loam. Okay. This means that Bowmaster will ping Burrow, but that's fine. If we take one, we take one. We gain 2. They have 1 card left. Witherbloom's kind of cool. So they have 1 card. I think I'm happy just to try to go for it here. Alright, let's get rid of the Whale, the Reanimate. Emry I don't really care about. Probably just these. A land would be kind of cool. Mox, okay. Guess Mox is cool with Loam. Also, if they hold back the Strix on attacks, that shows us a lot. Yeah, no great attacks for them. Ooh, Reanimate? Damn. Okay. Okay. Do we Witherbloom the Bowmaster and then Reanimate it to take out the Strix? That's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. This Witherbloom. We'll mill and return a land. And then target creature gets -3, -1. Ooh, get back. Saga's pretty sweet. I think it might actually be Saga. There's no real world where I can wasteland them off 5 mana for Force of Will, because I want to do it pre-combat so I can actually attack this turn. So we're just gonna go with Saga. We're gonna play the Saga. They're gonna reanimate your Bowmasters. Oof. Nice. Damn, Reanimate is a very cool card. Yeah. Well, we get the 3/2, which I'm pretty stoked about. A lot of learning this league. Not someone who's used to, like, I'm pretty used to Loam, but this deck has a lot going on. So definitely happy to keep my head above water and have some pretty sweet plays. Like, we got Cyberdrive into play for the win. We got Tezzeret into play for the win. We got to do some cool things with Saga. Got to beat up on some, like, pretty sweet decks. We got to Coliseum players twice with Bowmaster out, which is pretty cool. So yeah, huge fan of the deck. I think I think with like a little bit more time into practice, this deck could do a lot of cool things for sure. So yeah, a huge thank you to Connor, firstly, for putting it together. Deck's cool. Then, yeah, of course to Greg as well, the patron. I really appreciated that. So a big thank you to him for biting the bullet and giving me the donation deck list. I really, really enjoy it. And it's always tough because sometimes I like to record these donation deck lists just to make sure that like I take a bit more time without chat at like getting the deck right, but also like sharing these types of decks on actual stream. It's always really fun, and it's always cool to see the different lines from chat as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, all in all, pretty sweet. Loved everything about it. Yeah, there's nothing more that I could say than like there's just so many different lines and different like you use the graveyard, you use the stack, you can win without the graveyard, which is pretty incredible for a deck playing Reanimate. You have a lot of ways to do that, so that's always really cool. But it's late, and I'm gonna go. But a huge thank you to you guys for watching, the new followers and the new subscribers. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, you can find me here. Obviously my Discord, and of course YouTube. Yeah, no Sylvan Library in here. I guess Loam is kind of your library. You do have the Bowmasters to deal with opposing Bowmasters if you do have a library, but yeah. Maybe I think Connor's just not a library fan. I'm a library fan. I've been caught out at times where it's like library's just not really good enough, but there are some draws where you can shape your turns around it for it to be quite effective. Yeah, library's pretty cool, especially with Loam as well, like knowing what's on top. You do have a lot of shuffle as well, especially with Saga, but yeah. Tagores is playing some Modern. Sweet. I'm gonna send you guys over there. A huge thank you once again. Enjoy your weeks ahead. I'm away for the whole weekend at the coast, but I might be back on Sunday night. We'll see how it goes. But until then, stay safe, take care, play fair.